So after 30 years of marriage, sometimes there's regrets. We're not going to talk about that today, though. Let's talk about fruit tree regrets here in Arizona. That's up next. Hello everyone, this is Dwayne.
And Lori.
And this is Edge of Nowhere Farm. Now if you guys have been following us along, you know that we have over 200 fruiting trees, vines, and shrubs here on the Sonoran Desert Farm. And you know, over the last really solid 10 years of growing, we've learned a thing or two and definitely walked away with a few regrets. So today what we're gonna do is try to stop you from having the same and sharing what we've regretted most.
We are in Arizona, so this is going to be specifically for us here in Arizona.
So now these are not in any particular order. These are just things that we found don't work well for us and probably would equate to most of us here, at least in the central part of Arizona. One of the regrets we have is choosing wrong varieties, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that today, but what you'll see behind me here is our Gala apple. Now, we keep trying to do this for some reason, but even on the old farm, we had a farm that we started about 11 years ago now, just about 3 miles from here. We had several different varieties of fall apples, and a Gala was one of them. We were able to get some fruit on there, but it never survives our summers and gets into the fall season. And so variety makes all the difference in the world, and fall apples definitely just don't do well for us here. So a lot of your traditional apples just don't work well. And so we've pretty much decided at this point in time that that is definitely a regret. We're really wasting the space at this point in time, and we're getting absolutely no production. Now, the trees do look nice, and it's kind of cool to be growing them. So if that's your thing, well, hey, grow one. So another regret, and kind of along the same lines of that fall season, would be pears. And we have a few different varieties of pears. We have a Seckel pear, a Waddell pear that we get from RSI growers. You'll see one of them behind me here, a Camas pear, and then we have 2 different types of Asian pears. Now, the biggest challenge we found with these is twofold. Number one, these trees cannot get their fruit into the fall season, at least not reliably. And the second thing we found is blight. They really struggle with blight. Now, the Seckel pears don't seem to have that issue, but the Camas, the Waddell, and the 2 Asian pears, all of those are struggling with blight no matter what we do to combat it. So, hindsight probably would not do pears again. We're just not getting the production. So we're back here on the back of our farm. Now, one of the things that we wanted to do when we moved out to this property, the home in the city, you want to explain that really quick? We had a nice wall behind us, right?
Yeah, so we had, when we first built the house in North Phoenix, we had a mountain behind us. And then several years into that, they decided to build houses on that mountain. And so we had a 15, 20 foot block wall that was basically on top of our block wall. So that's all
unfinished.
We had.
Yeah, so it's 20 feet of unfinished block wall. So one of the things about this farm, we wanted a view of the mountains behind us, and we wanted to have trees line that. So one of the trees we decided to do, because they're here in Arizona, was pecans. How'd that turn out?
Well, we have 3 pecan trees still in the ground after planting 7. So that's 7 that we initially have gone through, I guess.
And they're expensive.
Very expensive. We spent anywhere from $100 to $200 per tree, and so I'm just not willing to give up quite yet.
True, but the challenge we found with these, number one, they're difficult. We have to put zinc on them. It has improved the situation a little bit, but the most important thing about what we need to put on them is water.
Yeah.
They take several hundred gallons a week just to try to maintain a little bit of green. And we've still got brown on these trees. So really what it narrows down to with pecans, unless you have an irrigated lot, my suggestion is skip them. Definitely a regret of ours is having these trees struggling on the farm where we wanted big, beautiful trees.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it's gonna happen. So another type of tree we definitely would not do again, it's what you see here. This is a Fuyu persimmon. We have 2 persimmon trees here, a chocolate persimmon and a Fuyu persimmon. We also attempted this on the old farm with absolutely no success. Now these trees grow very slowly. They will put on some fruit, but none of the fruit will get into the fall season. It has to survive all summer, so yet again, another tree that sets fruit in the spring, needs to get to fall, and just doesn't get there. Whether it's birds or just the unrelenting sunlight and dry that we have during our summer times, persimmons just don't do well for us here. So I want to talk a little bit about the most beneficial and destructive thing we have here in the desert, and that is sunlight. You're probably picking it up here this morning. It's very early in the morning. It's already nice and warm here in September, and sunlight is our best friend and our worst enemy. What I mean is, when it comes to fruit trees, they need sunlight. And they need sunlight all the time. One of the mistakes we made on the old farm is we planted up against a wall that faced the west. Well, the challenge was we had 2 grapevines there that really always struggled and gave us almost no production. They got no sun in the morning and nothing but sun in the afternoon. So that's a challenge for us here and a bit of a regret because we've planted not taking that into account. Of course, here we made up for that. Everything is in full sun and everything does really well, except for the varieties we're sharing with you. But the trees themselves even still grow well. The issue is production. They need that sunlight in order to give you production, and we found that that full sun, that's a challenge and a benefit, is completely necessary. And you've got to take that into account when you're looking at where you're going to be planting your trees, vines, and shrubs, especially if you really want production. So this part of the farm are some areas that we've tested some things, and we've done our fair tests of this group of trees. If you've been following us along a while, you already know what I'm gonna say. It's tropical trees. We have attempted several. In fact, we've got one right here that finally died after a few years. It was a banana that was gifted to us. You know, we have tried several. We have had passion fruit, we've had Barbados cherry, we've had mango, we've had guava, and today we have none of those. All of those have died in our winters and struggled even sometimes during the summertime. Not all, but none of them have survived our winters. And so we've at this point decided, hey, tropical trees are off the list. They're just way too difficult. Unless you want to give a whole lot of extra work in the hopes that you might get some production. And we're all about production here. So definitely a regret of ours is all these attempts we've made at tropical trees, and we just won't do it again. So what are some of your regrets? Whether you're here in Arizona or you're elsewhere, I'm sure you probably have some. Now, let's focus in on regrets when it comes to fruit trees and gardening. Maybe a little bit of farming regret, right? We could all complain about things that we've done in our lives that we regret. But you know, the reality is these are learning experiences, right? So what brought us here today and the successes that we've had are because of all the failures. And so instead of regret, let's just look at them as opportunities for improvement and opportunities for a better harvest, which is usually what we get these days. So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this Sonoran desert farm and would love to see you on a regular basis. If you have any questions or comments, those go where?
In the comments down below.
Yep. And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That's a free, painless way to help support the channel here. If you start with the link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. And if you haven't seen us on TikTok yet, we are there. You can find us at EON Farm. Check us out there. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere,
So can you.
All right, we're out.
Mosquitoes.
Let's go.
Crazy.
Yep. So we've been married almost 30 years. Do you have any regrets?
On marriage?
Well, let's not get into that today. Let's talk about farming regrets. That's up next. You weren't ready for that, were you?
No.
Ow. Goodness. Okay. So regret number 1, mosquitoes. Let's get away from them. Hey, Enzo, buddy. Oh my, I literally had like 2 or 3. Oh. Lay down, girl.
She's like, no, I want to be up there with you.
There you go, sweet pup.
Go, just do it.
Just do it. Go.
Do it.
So what do you think of our list? And what are some of... Start over.